Right, just doing a quick towing review of the Everest after 3,500 kilometres of towing now. Just a fresh reminder, V6 Sport Everest, four-wheel drive obviously. We are 2024.5 model, towing a 2.8 tonne single axle off-road Golf 577 GT caravan. So towing experience has been really good so far. Cruises along the road really nicely, plenty of power for overtaking, really keeps up with everything else I've ever towed with, probably with ease. I'm not talking Land Cruisers or distant patrols. Makes overtaking quite simple and very stressless. But you wouldn't ask my wife that when it comes to overtaking. She doesn't take it easily. This is why I do the driving. I take it in my stride, but it does help having a great tow vehicle. Sits on the road really well. You know, this morning, this particular trip was very windy. Still, you can cruise at 103 kilometres an hour quite easily without any dramas. Very, very minimal sway, or very little sway, if any sway at all, even in the wind. So, just a bit of an overview. I want to cover off on 5 things: fuel consumption, AdBlue. I had just the general towing ability. What else did I have on the list? Cameras and the warning systems. I'll start with the warning systems because they annoy the crap out of me. There's one thing that I don't like about this vehicle. It is all the warning systems. Now, I've turned my lane departure warning off because otherwise it's constantly telling you to get in the lane. But when you're driving on highway roads, you're always looking out and you're always just trying to dip past or see past something. The computer doesn't like that, so it's constantly telling you to get back in the lane. So when you're overtaking, it becomes quite annoying. Further to that, you get to a point where then you have fatigue warning systems come in because the vehicle's thinking you're fatigued because you're all over the road, but you're not. You're just trying to see what's going on, and that gets very irritating. So all these warnings come up about, you know, taking a break, and then it goes, you must stop now. It goes into the red. I'll show you a picture of that. Quite frustrating. So it's probably a real downfall of the vehicle to, you know, driving and towing long distance so far. Probably the most frustrating thing I've had to deal with.
Yes, the real driving though, it's not, it doesn't, in the city it works.
Obviously city it's different, but this is a long-term towing review, so that's one thing that's a real bugbear. The other thing I want to cover off is the AdBlue. I didn't think I'd need to put AdBlue in this early. We've done a total of 6,300 kilometres in the vehicle. 3,500 of those is towing. Now, my expectation from previous conversations with other people was you might put your AdBlue in probably around 12,000 K mark, but obviously towing, using a lot more fuel, you're burning off a lot more, so you can assume that you're going to use a lot more AdBlue. So don't be underprepared. I wasn't prepared to put AdBlue until probably a few thousand more Ks in this trip, so I didn't bring any with me, and I had to buy some at a premium price, which was a bit annoying, but it managed to get through. And that's fine, and it's even asking me again now for some more AdBlue, which is a little bit annoying, but that's the technology that we're running with in these cars. The Ranger doesn't have that, but it's got to do with keeping the emissions down on this sort of vehicle, being a non-commercial vehicle. Next, I want to cover from the cameras. Awesome camera system in this vehicle. So one thing I really love about it is when you indicate, the cameras come on, left or right side, and it comes on your big screen, the 12.1 inch screen there, and you can see clearly, you know, what's behind you or what's on the side of you when you're overtaking or indicating. The other thing is, if you want to just check your trailer, see how it's going, you can actually just press the camera function, and I'll show you that there, and there's a few little things you can see there which will show you what you can do just to look at your rear of the vehicle and look down straight at your tow ball to make sure everything's all, you know, if you get a bit nervous, you can make sure it's all hooked up nicely and tidy and nothing's disconnected. So that's a really great feature. Cameras are a real plus, and they integrate really, really well with the clear view towing mirrors, which again, I would highly recommend. And there goes the driver fatigue warning now, and I'm just cruising along, so it can be quite annoying. Apart from that interruption, yeah, clear view towing mirrors, fantastic. They work very, very well with the integration of the camera system. Fuel consumption, just touch a little bit on that again. Averaging over 3,500 Ks, 17.8 litres per 100 Ks towing, and a little bit not towing. I think that's pretty good considering what we're towing. We've got full water tanks, 300 litres of water on board in the caravan, so there's a fair bit of weight there. Take that out and it makes a huge difference. But otherwise, this morning, like I said, against the wind, we're hitting at about 23 litres per 100 Ks, and now we're cruising again at around about 17.1. So I'm running 2 trip computers, trip computer 1 to do the overall trip, trip computer 2 for each individual drive that we're doing, and we've actually just dropped down to 16.9. So a bit of wind behind us now, and it's making it a little bit cruisier. Summary overall, I think I'm at really happy with the car, really happy with the way it tows. Certainly recommend one of them. You got anything to add, Kelly, while you're sitting there?
It's comfortable.
Comfortable, kids are happy, they're all quiet at the moment because we put lollipops in their mouth so we can do this video nice and quickly, and just give you a bit of an overall summary of what we think of 3,500 Ks of towing with a Ford Everest. Not too bad so far.